Joe had an operation on his shoulder. I just want you to know it wasn't because of anything we did. He's in great shape. And our whip, Mr. Clyburn, you're amazing. And I am reminded often by my staff.
3 stimulus checks are sending out this month. Lawmakers are finally taking action for the people. Now, friends, states had a budget surplus in 2022, or excess money from stimulus aid. This means a windfall for many taxpayers who can expect a one-time direct deposit and plenty of time for the holiday season. Many Illinois residents could soon see checks in the mail or money in their bank accounts thanks to new income and property tax rebates. Under the governor's Illinois Family Relief Plan, which was approved in April, a one-time individual income tax return and property tax rebate will be issued to those who meet certain income requirements. And now, payment distribution is expected to begin September 12, but not for everyone. Qualified property owners will receive a rebate equal to the property tax credit claimed on their tax form, with a maximum payment of up to $300. Rebates will be distributed in this method that your original income tax refund was sent. But if you didn't receive a refund, or if you were given a paper check refund, it may take longer for the rebate to be issued. Residents in the state of Colorado will be receiving additional checks. Colorado Governor Jared Polis announced that individual tax filers will receive refund checks of $750 and joint filers can expect $1,500. The money comes from a clause in the Colorado Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which gives the state legislature power to determine how to refund excess tax revenue to those who pay for it. Governor Polis initially announced the cashback rebate in April of this year. At the time, the governor said individual filers will receive a $400 check and joint filers will receive an $800 check. However, a better than expected tax revenue at the end of this fiscal year means residents will be paying more money in their rebate. Taxpayers who filed their 2021 returns before June 30th are eligible to receive the rebate. The Auditor of State's office has also announced that Indiana residents who have waited for taxpayer refund checks could finally see relief. The governor, Eric Holcomb, who called a special session for the Indiana General Assembly to provide inflation relief, signed Senate Bill 2 last week, which set up parameters for all qualifying people to receive the additional $200 checks. The governor said in a statement, "I'm extremely pleased to see the House advance the Senate Bill 2 that advances and includes returning $1 billion back to taxpayers in the form of automatic taxpayer refunds. The Department of Revenue plans to begin its process of issuing direct deposits later this month. The Department of Revenue will handle direct costs, deposits, while the auditor's office manages checks. And also, upon his signing of the bill, a $200 automatic taxpayer refund is now given out to every qualifying resident. The refund is in addition to the $125 refund taxpayers received upon filing their 2022 taxes from higher than expected revenues last fiscal year."
Imported for the first time since 1949. Donald Trump achieved energy independence. However, since Biden came to office, the national average for a gallon of gasoline is over $1.30 higher per gallon. Electricity costs are 15% more, and at this point, Biden has leased fewer acres of offshore and federal land for domestic oil and gas production than any president in 70 years. Also, on this day of his presidency, Biden killed the Keystone XL pipeline, which could be supplying 830,000 barrels of oil a day from Canada to America. Higher gas prices increase delivery costs, increasing by inflation, which destroys jobs. Irresponsible decisions by Biden and the Democrats are responsible for the energy crisis. God bless our troops who successfully protected America for 20 years. As the global war on terrorism moves from the safe haven of Afghanistan to America, we will all...
Which we've been trying to do since the hateful, anti-democratic Citizens United decision came down from an irresponsible court, to, again, trying to pass disclosure, which couldn't get one Republican vote in the Senate to do that. But again, part of this election has to be to rescue our democracy from big, dark, special interest money. And that will restore people's confidence that their vote and their voice is as important as anyone's. Our legislation
are available to pay for homeowners who are behind on their mortgages and other housing-related expenses. As was the case with the rental assistance funds, money from the Homeowner Assistance Fund will be given out at the state level, but eligible recipients will be in line for anywhere from $15,000 to $80,000. That money can cover expenses including mortgage payments, property tax bills, homeowners insurance fees, HOA fees, and a couple more things. To qualify for aid under the program, homeowners will need to show they experience financial hardships. So folks, this is definitely a good idea from President Biden to do more for the American people that are in need of 4 stimulus checks. If you guys agree, tell me in the comments down below. Stimulus checks are here, everybody, and get ready to receive them. So we have a ton of good news about the 4 stimulus payments. There are huge developments being made on the 4 stimulus package. The IRS has confirmed a possible new delivery date for the next round of stimulus. So with tax filing season already underway, many tax experts are warning taxpayers to brace for another year of delays and complications. Underscoring the importance of filing early and preparing your information, the IRS started accepting 2021 tax returns on January 24th, more than 2 weeks earlier than the start of last year's filing date. Most taxpayers have until April 18th to file, but the IRS has a long road ahead of it. Stimulus checks and scaled-up child tax credit payments are creating extra work for the IRS. So, in many areas, the IRS is unable to deliver the amount of service and enforcement that the tax system needs. So folks, in 2022, the new year of this year's tax filing season all comes down to the crisis. The federal government tasked the IRS with delivering most of the direct aid approved for 2021 in President Biden's American Rescue Plan. According to the IRS commissioner, they said they urge extra attention to those who received an economic impact payment or an advanced child tax credit last year. And people should make sure that they report the correct amount on their tax return to avoid delays. Plus, those features can cause delays because they leave more room in error, either because the IRS didn't tally American stimulus totals correctly or because taxpayers made a math error. So when a tax return doesn't match up with IRS records, it's placed at the agency's paper processing backlog, a logjam that's been increasingly harder to work through amid hiring and training challenges. That means taxpayers are likely to encounter delays if they make a mistake when they file, or even if they submit in a return that's an error-free return. Taxpayers who also wait up until the last minute risk accumulating a significant wait time. According to tax experts, getting started early and filing electronically are the 2 most important things when you're trying to get a stimulus check and extra money from the IRS. And if you are a U.S. household with dependent children, you will also want to pay careful attention when submitting your tax return this season, because it's your main opportunity to reconcile any missing child tax credit payments.
Week from Memorial Day to honor our veterans and be home and then return. Why aren't we staying and working? Well, here's a chance for us to make it clear that we are going to work on what happened in these terrible tragedies at Uvalde, Texas, and in Buffalo, New York, and so many others. So
do we turn our backs on struggling working families, or do we respond to their pain? We should all be very, very clear. The working class of this country today faces more economic desperation than at any time since the Great